automated monthly test of the broadcast stations of your area. Equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. If this had been an actual emergency, official messages would have followed the alert tone. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system.
Next, Queen Latifah. Ray Romano shows his sexy side.
We call it 50 Shades of Ray.
She whispered softly, and I responded, "You gotta speak up, I didn't get any of that."
Tomorrow at 9 on WBZ.
Lisa Hughes and Jonathan Elias, weeknights at 11 on WBZ News.
Decision day in Boston. Voters head to the polls to elect the city's first new mayor in decades.
A chaotic scene inside a New Jersey mall. A gunman starts shooting.
And celebrating a big milestone on her road to recovery. A survivor of the Boston Marathon attacks takes her first steps.
Live from our studios in Boston, WBZ News at Noon starts right now.
And new at noontime, a house explosion and fire in Pawtucket. Sky eye over the scene as more than 24 firefighters are now working to put out a fire at a home on Mineral Spring Avenue. Providence TV station WPRI reports a man and a baby inside that home had to be rushed off to the hospital. The extent of their injuries right now is unclear. These are now live pictures from Sky Eye, and you can see most of the fire has been knocked down. A woman who was also inside did manage to get out safely. We're going to have more information coming to you just as soon as it comes into the newsroom. And a good afternoon to you. I'm David Wade.
And I'm Paula Ebben. For the first time in 6 Boston mayoral elections, voters will not find the name Menino on the ballot. It's John Connolly versus Marty Walsh. And one of these two men will succeed Mayor Tom Menino in the corner office in City Hall. WBZ's Michelle Roberts is live for us at a polling place in West Roxbury here at noontime. Michelle?
Hi, Paula. I'm here at Holy Name. There's been a steady stream of voters coming in and out. The line's pretty short. Everyone seems to be out within about 10 minutes. But as voters arrive, they're greeted by a handful of campaigners who are trying to make sure that they get those last-minute votes and sway anybody who hasn't decided yet. After months of campaigning, Representative Marty Walsh and City Councilor John Connolly say there's more to be done.
I'm going to go shake every hand I can right up until 8 p.m.
Today I'm going to be going around campaigning, going from pole to pole, and do some retail shops and business districts, things like that. Shaking hands.
Walsh cast his vote in Dorchester this morning and says he's ready to work.
There's a lot of people that need help, and I look forward to becoming the mayor of Boston to help those families.
How you doing, everybody?
In West Roxbury, John Connolly made it to the polls with his young family. With only hours until a winner is named, he's feeling confident.
I think we got a lot of momentum heading out there today, and I think people are going to respond to a vision that puts our schools first and recognizes that if we have great schools, we're going to have safe streets and a strong economy.
Voters are eager to know who will replace Mayor Menino after 2 decades as mayor. And both candidates are hoping to move the city forward.
It's a day where we should be thankful to Tom Menino for everything he's done to put this city in such a great place. And I think this is also a great opportunity to build off of that and take the city to an even greater place.
This is historic. First time in 20 years that we have a new mayor of Boston. So people should go out and vote today, regardless who they're voting for. Boston deserves that.
As of 9 a.m., 7% of the registered voters in Boston had cast a ballot. The new numbers should be coming in within the hour. But here at Holy Name, it's been a busy morning. Reporting live in West Roxbury, I'm Michelle Roberts. Paula and David, back to you.
All right, Michelle, thank you. And of course, today, bittersweet for the outgoing mayor. For the first time in decades, Tom Menino voting for someone other than himself. The mayor cast his ballot at a school near his Hyde Park home, but of course, not saying who he voted for.
Been on the ballot for the last 30 years. It changed. It really changed my life. Changed in the city. These two candidates have worked very hard over the last few months, and people at Boston make the decision today.
You can almost see the emotion there with the mayor. He says he's very sad, but also said it's time for him to move on. He said that Boston will be in good hands with either candidate. Paula?
Well, David, another big vote we're watching today will help determine if the future of casino gambling in eastern Massachusetts will exist in East Boston and Revere. Voters will decide whether to approve a plan that could potentially turn Suffolk Downs racetrack into a high-end casino. WBC's Sarah Conji is live in East Boston now. And this certainly has turned into a contentious debate in that area, Sarah, pitting some neighbors against neighbors.
It sure has, Paula, and there is a crowd outside of East Boston High School here with people making their pitches to voters as they make their way to the polls inside the high school here. Turnout is running slightly higher here in East Boston than it is in the rest of the city. That could be a sign of just how important this casino question is, with voters wanting to have their say over the future of this community.
That's it, no casino.
Chants, signs, and handshakes, all greeting East Boston residents as they make their way to the polls.
Oh, I don't know. I think I still have a few minutes to make up my mind.
Voters here are choosing whether to support a casino at Suffolk Downs. The $1 billion proposal would revitalize the racetrack, but requires support from host communities of East Boston and Revere.
If you think 4,000 jobs with local hiring preferences is a good idea, and $45 million for local road improvements, guaranteed spending with local businesses, then today's the day.
Suffolk Downs executive Chip Tuttle is reaching out to voters at the polls, hoping they will say yes.
People are realizing they're not voting for the status quo versus gaming development. They're probably voting for some other big development on 160 acres that will bring traffic and bring lots of people, but may not necessarily have the same benefits package.
But many residents worry a casino would ruin Eastie's community feel and bring too much traffic to the neighborhood.
I voted no. I think that it would be terrible for this community. I just don't think that it's going to bring anything good here. So I just came here to voice my opinion.
I think we are not prepared for that. And I do not believe that people is going to be eating over there, having fun, and then they're coming all the way down to Eastie to come to eat in here. I do not believe that. So small business could die.
Now, whether the voters in East Boston and Revere choose yes or no on this casino question, it is certainly not a done deal. Suffolk Downs is one of 3 proposals for the one casino license in the greater Boston area, and ultimately it's the Massachusetts Gaming Commission that will make the decision on who gets that license. Live in East Boston, I'm Sarah Conji. Paula and David, back to you.
Sarah, thank you. So WBZ is your election source tonight. Tonight at 11, we have complete results of the mayor's race and the casino votes, reaction from the candidates, and analysis from John Keller. You can also get real-time election results throughout the night by going to cbsboston.com. So, no excuse weather-wise. Great weather for anybody heading to the polls today.
And we've actually warmed up about 20 degrees since this morning. Let's bring in WBZ's Todd Gutner to get the latest. Hey, Todd.
Sounds like we should be in the 80s then, right? No, we're still in the 40s. 46 in Boston, 50 though down in Taunton. So slightly milder air beginning to work in. And any of the cloud cover that was out there earlier in the day is now gone, the exception over the Cape and the Islands where it remains a bit cloudy. This afternoon, I think you'll like, not much wind at all, upper 40s for highs, and mainly sunny. But we have some rain on the way. We'll go over some details coming up in a few minutes. Guys, back to you.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. A developing story out of New Jersey now. Police say a 20-year-old man is the one who opened fire at a mall before killing himself. No one else was hit by the gunfire. Co-Im reports from New Jersey.
Authorities say 20-year-old Richard Shoup was on a suicide mission and didn't plan on hurting anyone else when he started shooting inside New Jersey's largest shopping mall.
He could have really injured or killed many, many people, but he chose not to.
6 gunshots were fired shortly before closing time at the Garden State Plaza.
Out of nowhere, the guy walks right past the front door, and he's like just shooting shots in the air.
Hundreds of officers arrived on the scene quickly. Some employees and customers ran for their lives. Others hid for hours until SWAT teams helped them evacuate.
Keep those hands up.
This cell phone video shows people as they made their way to safety.
Police came, escorted us. We had to run out with our hands up. Guns aimed at us. They checked us. Crazy.
Authorities found Shoup's body and gun overnight in the back section of the mall that was closed off to the public. Authorities say Shoup had a history of drug dealing and drug abuse.
He was definitely despondent in his life, and it could have been the result of perhaps anticipated legal troubles that he thought was coming down, or general depression.
After Friday's deadly shooting at the airport in Los Angeles, authorities say they are relieved Shoup did not take any other lives. Co-Im for CBS News, Paramus, New Jersey.
Police say a woman was seriously hurt after she was hit while walking on Main Street in Tewksbury this morning. Now, they're not releasing the name of the victim, who was taken to a local hospital. We're working to get more information on her condition.
Well, now to a story you saw first here on WBZ. College students speaking out for the first time. Their new car surrounded by a rowdy mob after the Red Sox World Series win. The woman inside took this piece of video. Take a look and listen. You hear people screaming, "Flip the bug, flip it." The woman and her friend just left a concert. They ended up on Boylston Street, and that's when they ended up with their new VW Beetle surrounded.
I was terrified. It was like, I didn't know what to do, and there were like people yelling, and they were screaming, "Flip the bug, flip the bug."
Tess Ancatel got away from the group. She was not hurt, but her car is dented and scratched. The damage, she says, totals about $10,000. She reported it to Boston police, who are now investigating.
New at noon, the father of a missing New Hampshire girl who disappeared 4 weeks ago now is making a plea to his daughter on social media. Abigail Hernandez was last seen walking home from Conway High School October 9th, and she has not been heard from since. Her father, Ruben, has posted a letter to Abigail on his Facebook page. It reads, "We don't know if you ran away, but if you did, it's important for you to know, sweetheart, that nobody is angry with you, and you are not and will not be in any trouble. I just need to know that you are okay. I am hoping and praying that you are safe, warm, and that you are eating. Please, sweetheart, if you are able, find a way to let us all know that you are okay." And we do have some really amazing video to share with you this afternoon. It's going to make you feel great. Celeste Corcoran, who lost both legs in the marathon bombings, walks here for the first time. On this video, it was posted on the support page for Celeste and her daughter, and the caption reads, "Strong, steady, and tremendous balance. Unbelievable." Over 1,000 people have liked it so far, David. If there were a love button, I'm sure 1,000 people would love this. To see the freedom of that moment is really, it's amazing to be allowed in on that.
It's an automatic smile.
Yeah,
and to see how quickly, just moving around. Good to see. When we come back, Big Poppy takes his victory tour to the Big Apple.
And coming up, what he says helped motivate the Sox to win the World Series.
And smartphone users can now get a charge from a surprising source, the new high-tech bench that was developed here in our area.
We've always really thought long and hard about what we wanted to do in our retirement. Erickson's philosophy and approach to living, that's the type of community we look for. Wellness as a culture is social, it's intellectual stimulation, and there's certainly the physical. But all those are aspects of wellness that are actively sought by people who live here.
The Erickson community have the medical facilities and the expertise. It's a level of security. That's peace of mind. We don't have to worry.
This is a vibrant group of people who are interested and interesting. We're Nan and Mike Kruger, and this is our retirement realized.
Isn't it time you realized how carefree your retirement can be? Call 1-800-965-6747 to receive your free Brooksby Village or Linden Ponds brochure.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts. You've got a number of new reasons to look at Blue Cross for your Medicare options. Log on to bluecrossma.com/Medicare today. This portion of WBZ News is brought to you by Bernie and Bill's Furniture.
Police officers are making some house calls in Cambridge to warn people that there's been a series of break-ins. Officers are warning homeowners to be on guard because there have been at least 20 robberies in recent weeks, most in the early evening in the Peabody neighborhood of Cambridge on Mass Ave. Extra patrols have now been added to that area. And a renewed effort to find a Woburn girl who disappeared nearly 25 years ago. Billboards for Melanie Melanson are now up along area highways. She vanished in 1989, 14 years old at the time. The billboards are now in Woburn, Stoneham, and in Lawrence.
Well, a local professor says he gave the White House a warning 3 years ago that the rollout of Obamacare would have problems. Harvard economics professor and healthcare consultant David Cutler wrote in a memo that the people in charge of the healthcare.gov website did not have the expertise needed to pull off the launch. Some in Congress are now calling for the site to be taken down until it is completely fixed. The administration says it will have all the bugs worked out by the end of the month.
Well, in the old days, benches were for sitting. Not anymore, apparently. An MIT research scientist and 2 colleagues have designed this new high-tech bench. Seat E is what you call it, and it can power up smartphones, connect to the internet, and create moonlighting at night. The 2 benches are available at Boston's Rose Fitzgerald Kennedy Greenway.
Around about lunchtime, when your batteries wearing down, I used to sit there and recharge.
Probably just have to ask people, okay, are you almost done?
No, really.
I'm almost out of power.
Well, is it sore throat or strep throat?
Coming up in today's Health Watch, the new high-tech tool that helps parents take the guesswork out of what's bothering their kids.
And smartphone users may be getting a new charge from that surprising place.
Dr. Phil exclusive. Ariel Castro's first victim speaks out.
I was chained to the bed.
What happened in that room?
Today at 3 on WBZ TV.
Going to see an old war buddy. I want you to come with me.
A road trip into the past.
What assistance do you need? Dad, I'm fine.
Could drive a father and son apart.
Jackson Gibbs is your father?
Yeah, is he okay?
I'm afraid there's been an incident.
New NCIS. Then this case.
A freight train's been hijacked.
Is a real train wreck.
It's gonna derail. Get them off the track!
TV's top 2 dramas back to back. New CBS Tonight.
I am Liam Kerr, Chairman of Democrats for Education Reform, and Democrats for Education Reform approves and paid for this message.
As a parent of children in the Boston Public School, I've seen what is at stake. John Connolly brings a future for Boston, not for your selective few, but for everyone.
I'm part of an autism moms group. John reached out to us and listened, and he became our champion.
And that's why every major newspaper endorses John Connolly for mayor.
John Connolly is the best man for this job.
There are a number of new reasons to look at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts for your Medicare options. The name you know so well now has options you may not know, starting with new Blue Cross Medicare plans as low as $0. These plans include everything from routine annual physicals to hearing and vision exams, and prescription drugs. And we have an affordable individual dental plan, too. Call us for information and to request our free guide to Medicare. And of course, these plans all come with the peace of mind of Blue Cross. So call 1-888-800-8445 for your free copy of your guide to Medicare with no obligation. You've got a number of reasons to go with Blue Cross Blue Shield.
This portion of WBZ News is brought to you by Regan Ford of Haverhill.
We have an update now for you on that house explosion and fire in Pawtucket. More than 24 firefighters are still there as we take these pictures right now. This is at a home on Mineral Spring Avenue. Providence TV station WPRI is reporting that a man and a baby inside the home had to be rushed to the hospital. There was also a woman inside. She seems to be okay. We don't know the extent of the injuries to the man and the baby. These are now live pictures. As we zoom in, you'll see firefighters still there. A lot of damage, especially to the top of the house. Looks like a total loss here. No word on what caused the explosion, but it is something we will continue to follow throughout the afternoon.
On the Health Watch today, there's a new app that could help you know when you just have a sore throat or if you have something more serious. More than 12 million people go to the doctor every year to see if they have strep throat or not. Researchers at Harvard have now developed an app that asks questions about your symptoms and if people in your area have been recently diagnosed with strep. It makes a recommendation based on that information and does warn if the symptoms persist that you should go see a doctor.
Big Papi took his World Series tour into the heart of Yankee territory. David Ortiz made an appearance on The Late Show with David Letterman last night. WBZ's David Robichaux shows us Big Papi was a big hit.
It wasn't quite his home run trot, and the smattering of applause was very New York. But what do you expect when you wear red shoes in pinstripe territory?
Before you even start, I gotta say hi to my man Paul.
Hey, Big Papi! Hey, man! Just like at Fenway, Papi making himself at home, hugging, smiling, taking over the moment. Much like he did when his city needed him and his team to lead them back from the terror and chaos in April.
Everybody, my team was motivated by that situation that never happened before.
Ortiz will forever be remembered for his galvanizing impromptu speech at Fenway just after the bombings. Forget about the curse of the Bambino. Dave wanted to know about Papi's cursing.
What exactly did you say? This is our city.
And maybe Papi's second most important pep talk came in the dugout during a pivotal Game 5. Dave asked what he said to his teammates.
This is a special moment, and you want to give everything you have, and it's one time in life kind of type of thing.
Dave suggested that the 2013 Red Sox who won it probably weren't the most talented team.
You're right. But we have guys with huge heart. Guys that whenever you give them the opportunity to play, they will give everything they have.
Big Papi shrugged off a Letterman reference about fried chicken and beer in the clubhouse by looking into the audience and asking, who doesn't like chicken and beer? At Fenway Park, I'm David Robichaux, WBZ News.
He's charmed everybody.
It's easy to laugh now about chicken and beer.
Yeah, it's true. Once you have the
It
right.
all seems so funny now. Todd Gutner, take it away.
Oh, and it is so good, too. Roby's right. Who doesn't like it? Hey, cold start this morning with temperatures getting down into the teens. Northwestern suburbs up through Pepperell. Bedford down to 21. Nashua 22. Worcester 27. And once again, a frosty morning. Downtown Boston 32 degrees. We've recovered fairly nicely. We've had some sunshine out there during the morning hours. We have it again this afternoon. 46 the number in Boston. 50 in Taunton. Mid-40s off to the north and west. Our average high temperature for this time of the year is about 55. So we're running a little below right now. High pressure in charge right now relinquishes its control. Here comes the storm system with some rain and warmer temperatures for the second half of the week. So tonight, patchy clouds like what we're seeing out there right now. There may be some pockets of fog too in those colder valleys in the suburbs. Most spots down around the freezing mark, 32, about 44 for Boston. Tomorrow morning, some of those low clouds that are out there will take some time to burn off, but it'll get brighter as the day progresses. 45 degrees in the morning, mid-50s by lunchtime, and even milder in the afternoon. We should top out between 55 and 60 degrees during the afternoon hours, again with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Sunset about 4:30 tomorrow afternoon. Yes, they are early these days. Here comes the frontal system for Thursday. Warm and windy out ahead of it, and then we get into a period of rain, probably a couple hours long, and then it'll sweep on through for the evening. So the wettest part of the day will be in the afternoon. Behind the system, blustery and cold for the end of the week and the upcoming weekend. Accuweather 7-day forecast, a mix of sunshine and clouds this afternoon. You're looking at a high temperature of about 48. Tomorrow, again, sun and clouds, highs in the mid-50s, so not bad there. Thursday, it'll be warm, 64. Sadly, it'll be wet. Rain moves in for the afternoon. The wind will be blowing, too, out of the southwest, probably about 25, 30 miles per hour. And then following that, much colder on Friday, kind of a shock to the system on Friday after the 60s on Thursday. 48 your high temperature Friday, windy, partly sunny. Saturday looking great, lots of sunshine, high 52. May end the weekend with a little bit of light rain, perhaps a wet snowflakes mixing in some of the higher elevations, especially in northern New England. Temps on Sunday in the 40s. Paula and David, back to you.
Thank you so much. Well, a big surprise in the backyard.
An elk meets a trampoline that has trouble finding his way up.
Wake up.
I'm David.
I'm Carrie.
Very nice to meet you.
And get to know what's happening.
You better
take it easy, okay?
Oh, don't worry. I
know
can take
you
it
get
easy.
crazy.
Get some perspective.
What a story this is, Joe. Good morning.
It is, David. Good morning. Be prepared for whatever's to come.
We may see a brief shower.
There's an accident on 93 South.
Come see what's different.
That music really gets me every time.
This is my first pet parade.
On WBZ News in the morning.
Finally, the team is together. There you go.
Let's start the day together. An investor thought he found a deal.
If somebody is selling you something that cheap, it stinks.
Judge Judy.
Today at 4 on WBZ TV.
You've worked hard to live your best life. And Rite Aid has what you need to keep you there, including a free review of Medicare Part D prescription plans with a pharmacist. Get the right information to pick the plan with the best value based on your Rite Aid prescriptions, and avoid the possibility of overpaying, as plans can change year to year. And another Wellness 65 Plus benefit, save 20% off almost everything the first Wednesday of every month. Enroll free today.
I'm Tom Kiley of Kiley Law Group. If a family member has been too badly injured in an accident to come to our office, don't wait until the person is better to talk with us. If you can't come to us, we'll come to you. It's important to document the evidence as soon as possible. Skid marks fade, cars are repaired or destroyed, and witnesses move. Delay is not your friend. Call us or visit our website. The Kiley Law Group. Justice for you.
Marty Walsh will stand up for every person here in the city of Boston and every neighborhood in the city of Boston. Marty understands the struggles of working people because he's lived it.
Marty is committed to making sure that everyone in our city has access to opportunities. Marty is the only candidate that can bring everyone in Boston together.
Folks want to work. They want jobs. That's what Marty's about.
He cares about every neighborhood and every child getting a good education. And that's who Marty Walsh is, and that's why I'm proud to support Marty from there.
I think he's the best man for the job.
And that's why I'm supporting Marty.
Non-lawyer paid spokesperson. Attention dialysis patients. If you suffered major health problems or if a loved one died during dialysis treatment, you may be entitled to compensation. The FDA reports dosing errors during dialysis may cause serious health problems, including death. If you or a loved one suffered a heart attack, arrhythmia, stroke, or cardiac arrest within 48 hours of dialysis treatment, call 800-589-7153 for a free evaluation of your claim.
This portion of WBZ News is brought to you by BMW of Peabody.
Well, how about this? Getting an all-natural boost of caffeine in a can. Coming up tonight at 5, concerns about so-called healthy energy drinks. What you should look out for before you buy. Plus, a unique way to multitask at work. Forget sitting at your desk. Why not walk? Details on the health benefits of treadmill desks. Let's get a treadmill anchor desk. That's today at 5 on WBZ News.
I don't want to work any harder than a Marty.
Let's not go crazy.
When you live in Colorado, it's not unusual to see animals roaming around your backyard. Animals like an elk. But a family in Evergreen saw not one, not two, but at least 5, and one of them was on a trampoline.
Oh, no.
They caught the whole thing on tape. The animal jumps around before finally saying, you know what, this isn't for me.
There we go.
Yeah.
And walks away unharmed.
Like Bambi on the ice. Oh, at least he found his exit door there.
So, Todd, how are we looking the rest of the afternoon here? Not a bad one. I mean, the temperatures aren't responding as well as we'd like. They're not back into the 50s. We're looking at upper 40s this afternoon, but it's light wind, and there's some sun out there. So a good day to get out there this afternoon and get some fresh air.
Sounds good. We like it. All right, Todd, thank you so much. We'll be here for you this afternoon with our newscast at 5.
Of course, big election results tonight. Join us then. Have a good one.